Okay, so welcome to the next game. TFK, Trondheim Frisbee Cup, against the second team of BSI, who won their first game against OSI 1. And TFK definitely being the top seed in this group. So expecting a tight game. I might say that Trondheim are favorites here. And I sound a little bit uncertain because I'm looking for my fellow commentator who is slowly coming in, but he can't run, which is a shame to see. But let's make the way a little shorter for you.
Thanks.
Hello.
And then we're back. And this should be a very interesting game for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
And you're, of course, Ole Rabbel.
Yes, I am. Oh, yeah, I forgot to introduce myself. So I started talking without you, impolite as I am. I am Ole Rabbel. I'm currently still president of OSI and have the pleasure to commentate this game. Yeah, this game should be interesting for a number of reasons. I already started explaining so that is OSI, already lost their game quite clearly against BSI 2.
Interesting.
And they might not have the most athletic team, but they're all really experienced. So if they can manage to not get broken too quickly and not get behind too quickly, I think they might have a chance to cause some trouble here to TFK.
Seeing Robin with the disc, moving it to Edward.
Tight defense over here.
Very patient, finding a player. Unfortunate drop there. Steinar Gundersen calling out to vertical.
Yes, and here we might see, yes. This is why they're favorites. They know each other, they know where to run and when, and they can throw the throws.
And there you see the oldest player in Ultimate Norway, and just showing off his routine, showing off his technique. He's mainly a disc golfer who plays Ultimate in the winter, and amazing. Just the perfect hammer. Yeah. Steinar, of course, getting free like he's done it his whole life. Yeah. And
I think you could probably wake up Steinar and put him there 5 seconds after you woke up, and he'll throw that throw exactly like that.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
There we see another staple of the Norwegian Ultimate community. Passing the disc to
tight
Malene.
Defense here. You can see there's some trouble in terms of speed here on the side of BSI 2.
Seems like
but they are handling their way through.
Yeah, and Terje is doing some fakes.
Terje also one of the veterans of Norwegian Ultimate.
Definitely.
He's been around for probably over a decade.
And they're moving the disc really efficiently.
That was just out.
Called by TFK, and throwing a blade which is out of the reach of Ingat.
But you can see these long cross-field throws will be what you will be seeing from TFK throughout the game. Long, precise throws. He's struggling to find his man here, but he manages in the end. Ruben has a deep option there, gets the disc.
I'm guessing that that's number 57, or now it's Terje with the disc.
Hard to see the numbers with the red jerseys. Terje wide open, demanding the disc. Decides for the upward pass. There's no now, then must, that side is wide open.
And BSI is showing relentless determination, moving the disc forward. Does seem unfazed by the TFK defense.
Yes.
TFK being able to stranglehold the BSI offense, not giving them any options, moving the disc forward. Yeah. And Terje perhaps even forced to throw an extremely difficult throw, unable to. And then we see TFK on the offense.
There we go again, exploiting. I was just about to exploit the mismatch, but that was too high for the both of them.
It went over their heads.
And probably what we'll see again now is BSI being able to work their way up until the middle line, and then TFK gearing up in defense. Oh no, even stronger pressure now.
Yeah. Almost a double team in that situation. And not willing. Oh, there comes a long throw.
Ruben is tall. Will he get it? He does, but he's not in.
And he's in.
He's in?
Yep, he kept it in.
Oh yeah, he's inbounds, but he didn't score.
That's true. Leon throwing to Tarja, looking towards the end zone, throwing a forehand,
And
caught but landed out. That was a really well played, well executed offense.
Oh Jesus Christ! That's how you exploit someone not paying attention for 1 second.
And that's you have to say that's one of TFK's like central tactics. If you snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
You can't fall asleep for a second. You'll get it in the end zone.
It's very true.
They'll exploit it every single time. Willing to throw a cross-field disc as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And a fearless handler.
I think
a couple of handlers.
I agree.
In
I think that's actually one of the main differences, apart from, of course, throws and athleticism, throughout the pool of teams here, is how alert people are on their throws. If you're focused, you pick up the disc and you see an opportunity, you take it. Against many teams, that will be enough to score a quick point.
And here we see Ivan with the pull. Ivan is a player, a handler, a cutter, a tournament director, a gentleman, a scholar.
He has the lungs of a horse because he never stops running. I've never seen him in a somewhat exhausted state. It's absolutely horrible. He's, I think, one of the toughest players to play against.
He's a fearsome player to...
Extremely fair, very engaged in the community too.
And as we see, safe with the disc, throws a simple pass to Steinar, who scores. Steinar playing really well this couple of opening points, seeming like he has the speed.
You sound surprised.
Yes, I am surprised. And the reason for me being surprised is he told me that he went to bed at 1 a.m. and didn't fall asleep until 5. And he's still out here running like a cheetah out of Serengeti.
Impressive, yeah.
And here we're seeing Ingar with the pull, getting that hang time. That's a really...
It's a nice slow pull.
Exactly.
Gives the defense time to set up.
Agreed. And here we see Ivan with the close mark, moving efficiently.
So BSI need to move the disc quicker.
Yep.
It is a wide open pass, just take it. Because now, once the defense is set up, it's going to be hard to break it.
Eduardo throwing to Volan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Probably not.
Looking for options here. Nothing's there. There she comes. Nice grab.
Seeing a double cut there. BSI needs to clean up their cutting if they're supposed to.
Nice.
Oh, that's a really well caught disc. Unable to make a goal out of it.
What's the name of the cutter who's coming out now?
That's Mariana. I think the cutter you were talking about was Eduardo on the other side.
Eduardo on the other side. He did the exactly right thing. He was aiming for one corner, then a sharp cut to the other. But Ivan is just too quick to lose him there.
But what he does really well in that cut is he creates a lot of space for the next one coming in.
Exactly.
And Malena, quick enough, safe enough, catching the disc, scoring a nice first point for BSI.
Really important to get that first point
exactly.
in. For morale.
Absolutely. And what will happen is that they get that goal, they're getting on the board, and now we'll see if they're able to keep the momentum, keep forcing TFK to play their best, and perhaps most importantly, stopping their long throws.
Yeah. I think that is, if you want to annoy them, that is the way to go. If you can shut down those long throws, test their patience a little bit.
And also we see TFK playing basic ultimate.
But this is such quick play. Look at this. Like hardly anyone. Whoa! Look, that's hardly anyone had the disc in their hands for longer than a second, and they were all good, secure throws. So that's how you just dismantle a defense.
And what's the reason why TFK is able to play this way?
I guess they really know the moves. They know each other really well. So basically, I think the cutter who will get the continuation throw knows where he has to run while he's not even close to the disc. I think that you really saw it. He was on the go already when the disc was still being handled up the line.
And another part of their play is that they're so well drilled together, played together for almost a decade, some of them.
Yeah.
And they've got a core of 4 players that's been playing longer than most of in Ultimate.
Yeah.
But I'm not counting BSI out.
Seeing a couple of new faces as well, though, which is really nice to see.
Yep. They're working on their recruitment, and just have to talk about this goal by BSI. Doing the same thing, moving this efficiently, and then using the break side with a difficult throw, being able to throw it. Tell us what the break side is.
The break side, okay. So in Ultimate, the most common technique to try to take away space from the attacking team when you're in defense is to close down one side. That is, whoever guards the person with the disc will stand sideways and try to force them, that's what they call the force them to throw to one side of the pitch, essentially splitting the pitch in half. That means for the rest of the team that they can anticipate where it is most likely that open throws are going to come. However, if you manage to break this force and throw on the completely open side, that's very, very powerful and almost always, at least indoors, results in the score.
There we see one of the new players in TFK introducing herself with a beautiful forehand, catching the disc after a cut, finding Steinar another time in the end zone. I must say that I'm impressed by the determination and the sheer technique,
the stamina, the awakeness.
Yeah, they're looking very confident and also very safe in their play, and it's promising to see this. And I think that this year they will give Pancake a run for their money in this tournament.
They did last year, didn't they? Did they win last year's tournament?
They actually won the series last year, but were utterly destroyed in the Norwegian Championship final. Yeah. And we're not talking about that final.
Right.
We're talking about this.
So
game.
you are not talking about. I might talk about that at length. No, but I think it was really refreshing to see TFK winning the series last year after many years with Pancake dominance. It's important to have a change of rule every now and then.
There we see Steinar holstering
passes.
But he also holstered a deep throw and being able to break them.
Miscommunication there, both heading off down the line. Yep. One thing you see a lot when Steinar's on the disc, for instance, is he's pump faking a lot. That means he fakes throws, keeping his guard on the move, and that will eventually open up some space to throw an easy throw.
Tadia getting the disc to Leon,
which then landed
up the line. Leon looking for the dump, finding Tadia. Seeing Miriam on his right-hand side, not looking for it, finding Roven in the end zone.
That was pure routine. Just waiting for one moment where your defender isn't aware, and then taking that open space.
But I must also comment on the uncommon lapse in defense from TFK. He got completely open on the open side, which never should happen.
That's true.
Because they have an advantage. They should have an advantage in that corner.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so you have basically efficient defense in the end zone involves getting yourself as a defender between the player and the open side. So that didn't happen there. We have 5-3 lead for TFK right now. Still comfortable, but not unbeatable. There we go. Classic TFK point. These things, as the defending team, break you down.
Talk about how it affects you psychologically, getting a goal like that against you.
You know it's going to happen. That's the worst. The worst thing is you go into a point and you make it your personal challenge to not receive the long pass. You don't pay attention for a split second and the pass happened. You see it coming, and the moment you see it coming, you see how far away you're from your TFK opponent, and then you go like, oh no.
It seems like a traumatic experience.
It is, how do you say, I have received multiple traumas throughout my ultimate career in Norway.
We hope you improve.
I recover, usually.
We're hoping for a quick recovery,
As we see, a nice intercept by number 27.
Which is Lars Jakob, also called LJ. Oh, let's see what the call is.
I would say that was down. That sounded like it touched the disc before he caught it. And that is exactly what is being called here, and it's uncontested. Nice fair play here.
Agreed. No argument, trying to find out what the fair solution is.
Especially at a point in the game where the game is not decided at all. So that's even more important, I feel, in critical phases to keep your spirit up.
I'm really impressed by BSI's
They're moving it really well, huh?
Exactly, and they're able to keep up with the intensity of TFK.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy thing to do. As we see another of TFK's strong players, Vilde, you think you might have lost her. I'm just assuring you, you're wrong. She's always there. She's always being a threat, and now we see her in the offense.
Oh, nice read there. Oh, no.
I must say...
Just a bit too quick for their own good.
Yeah. Sometimes even too quick for TFK.
I'm really impressed with BSI too here. I must say that.
They're keeping calm, they're patient, they're moving the disc efficiently.
Dump throw, that's important.
Yep. And even if he's in a hard position, let's see if they can get the disc up. Oh, it's a brilliant catch, but unfortunately she landed out.
And again, you see how quickly Steiner's on the move in the end zone.
Immediately. And there, another score.
Yep.
A blade, Vilde caught it.
Another thing that, since we're watching indoor ultimate here, another thing that is very typical for indoor ultimate is these overhead throws. The steeper they get, the more we are inclined to call them knives. If they have these kind of curved, long throws, we call them hammers. And that's a very efficient, quick throw that is very hard to defend.
And for our international audience, tell us why they're so uncommon outdoors.
Yes, exactly. So I would say, except for maybe Norway, but even Sweden has an outdoor league. But I would say in most of Central Europe and the rest of the world, ultimate frisbee is usually an outdoor sport where you play on a much larger field, and of course you have things such as wind, sun affecting visibility and throwability, if we want to call it like that. And these overhead throws get caught by the wind really easily, which makes them very, very difficult to throw under windy conditions outside. But as you can see here, no wind. Those things turn into weapons that even not so experienced players can use indoors, I think. Although I personally must say I prefer handling your way through with short passes, secure passes that are representative of this. Was that a point? Communicating with the sideline there, and the point is given. Another display of really good spirit.
And a bit uncommon for TFK, showing a turnover on one of the blades, but they're always willing. They're always willing to throw that, and that also creates space in front of the cutters, right?
That's true.
Because they have to guard against the long ones. They're uncertain on how to choose. But I also want to comment on the goal from BSI. A brave throw up the line, and really nice footwork by Rovin.
Yeah.
Keeping
Field awareness
eyes on the
at its best.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Eyes on the disc, feet on the ground, and called in.
Fourth point for BSI.
And they're doing really well.
7-4. Again.
I would call. Let's see what they call that one. He looks uncertain. BSI is walking away. What?
The question here was whether he jumped after he had already received the disc outside of the field, but he jumped just before that and then landed inside the end zone, scoring the 8-4 in favor of TFK.
There we see him holding onto the disc. Usually you want to throw that, pull after you get the goal. Know that feeling, not wanting to let go. It's a part of the game.
I believe Trondheim have a lot of people who are able to throw good pulls like that. So this one looks like it's going to be a bit long. Yes. So what happens now is the so-called brick you saw Terje.
It's on the front end of the screen.
You see he will advance out of the end zone towards that mark there. And this happens if the pull lands out of bounds. You are allowed to lift your arm to indicate that you will make use of this option. The pull being the first throw that initiates each point. So Ruben on the disc here, trying to make some space.
TFK defending efficiently here, forcing difficult throws as Volene is holding onto the disc, trying to find someone, throws a stall out called. So the defender claims that the disc was held for more than 8 seconds and it's uncontested, which means they agree. Marit throwing another forehand. She's really confident in those forehands and showing great technique and using the break side really efficiently, scoring another goal for TFK.
And I think TFK start looking really comfortable now. Yeah, we see it in the replay. Good technique, and then it's a matter of just putting it into the end zone. Ooh, I like that beard that comes out of the
TFK logo. The technical level on this stream
I am amazed.
I like to compare it to NRK early 80s, perhaps late 90s. I'm not sure. Somewhere around there with the
I must say I have no knowledge about that, but I'm sure this is at least at the level of NRK. And this should actually be streamed on NRK, don't you think?
I agree perfectly. It obviously should be streamed on NRK. Where we see another goal by BSI. Roven catching the disc. I'm uncertain if he landed on the line, and if he did, then he should be called out. I think his right foot landed on the line. Which
really difficult to see, though.
Agreed. But still, and it's really hard on even if with the replay, seeing if he landed on the line or not.
And then you basically what you have to do is you just have to trust your the player's judgment, because in frisbee we do not have referees.
One of the strengths.
Yeah, I think one of the strengths of the sports, I think it's a lot about responsibility for your own deeds. Is that a Callahan?
Well, I think there's a foul called. I hope we get the replay on that one.
Yeah. Do we have a replay?
And that's absolutely fantastic spirit by Ingard. Actually catching a Callahan, landing inside the end zone.
It would be a turnover point. That is what a Callahan is. So
and still giving up the foul call.
Which is, I think, one of the biggest achievements. Apart from winning the Norwegian series, one of the biggest achievements in the sport is scoring Callahan.
There we see another stall out. Why do you think TFK is able to get as many stall outs on BSI?
I think they're just really, they're tightening down the space so much. It's just so hard for BSI to get out of there. Avoidable misthrow here.
I think it was basically down to chemistry.
Yeah.
Probably throwing a bit early without really...
Untypical at TFK.
Really
so now you
uncharacteristic.
Okay, let's see. What you're seeing here is Inga not really... Right now, he picks up his opponent. That was out.
Landed on the line.
Yes.
Called out.
Called out. No discussions there.
There we see Vilde getting free again. Ivan has a lot of space. Will he be able to land inside?
That is the kind of point I love, because it's quick play, 2-3 passes in the middle, and then an easy, comfortable throw, and of course, really good read and timing. from Ivan here.
Ingo, there we saw you caught it inside, you caught it in the air, you landed inside. It was a Callahan. Tell us what happened right afterwards.
He felt that I pushed him or stripped him, that he had a disc before me, and I didn't feel that, so I contested his call, and then we